Alrighty guys, another day, another strength, and we got another fitness fact or fiction today. This is gonna be a good one, talking about functional training for athletes. So if you know about my background as a starting strength coach, you already know how this video is gonna go. But anyways, the claim is that athletes need to train in the gym the same way they perform on the field. So if you go look at any of these videos that are now circulating, they're on YouTube. So there's like Christian McCaffrey training videos, Patrick Mahomes training videos. If you guys don't follow football, those are NFL athletes, they're quite good. But their training regimens, you can watch them on YouTube and find out for yourself, but I'm going to tell you right now, this functional training thing is complete fiction, nonsense, right? Get rid of it. So especially their training is like, it's a little bit wild. You can watch like Mike Israetel breaking it down. You can watch Rip breaking it down. Like everyone's in agreement that knows anything about strength and conditioning that this stuff is just not helping the athletes as much as it could. So I'm going to start with piggybacking off the last fitness factor fiction where we talked about building a base. The two-factor model of sports performance where you have training and practice. So you're going to separate those two things, right? So your training is muscular size, muscular conditioning, and strength, right? So you're going to, in the weight room, acquire those three things. And then practice is your skill acquisition for the sport, right? So for football, you're going to go practice on the field and do that. So in the weight room, you're going to be doing lots of like squatting, bench pressing, overhead pressing, deadlifting, power cleaning, right? Chins, rows, pushing sleds maybe, that sort of thing, right? Nothing revolutionary there. But you're going to separate the two, right? And the reason for that is because combining the two gives you the absolute worst of both worlds. So let's say that instead of doing that, instead of squatting and then practicing throwing the football for Patrick Mahomes, right? Let's say we have Patrick Mahomes just like throw a medicine ball like you would throw a football, and that's his, practice there, right? So the issue with that is that you are not practicing a specific movement because you're practicing throwing a heavy medicine ball when you should be practicing throwing a football because that's what you're doing on the field. And then it's not going to be heavy enough to actually produce a strength adaptation or muscular size or anything really, because it's just this weird awkward motion that's unstable. You can't load the shoulder a ton with the medicine ball. There's no eccentric, there's like a poor range of motion, right? All kinds of reasons why it's not a good movement for strength or size or anything else. So you're better off doing something like an overhead press or a bench press or a chin up or whatever, pick your favorite movement, right? And then practicing throwing the football separately. So athletes should train for strength with basic compound movements primarily because they don't have a lot of time in the gym, they're not bodybuilders. And then if they have like specific areas of concern, well, like let's say you have a guy like Michael Penix who like tears his ACL and MCL all the time, right? You might have him do some more specific, like maybe like deep knee bending kind of stuff, have him do more RDLs for the hamstring that crosses the knee joint, like leg curls, actually it would be even better for that, right? Because you're gonna want to strengthen that knee joint a little bit extra for him. But in general, like if an athlete's healthy, you just want to have a general base of muscular strength and size, right? So your basic compound movements are going to cover all that, and that's going to maximize your limited time in the gym, right? Then they should obviously practice the sport regularly, and obviously practice, tweak these two levers with the training and the practice during the season. So during the season, it's obviously a lot more practice, a lot less training. Off season, a lot more training, a lot less practice. And if they're training properly, practice becomes a lot easier. So I'll use the NFL kicker example that I used from the last video. If you have a kicker who's stronger, he can kick the ball further, right? So like Justin Tucker, he can hit that 60-yard bomb, knock it right through the uprights, which is awesome, right? But he also becomes more accurate if he's stronger, right? So how does that work? Well, think about it like this, right? If Justin Tucker can kick a 60-yard field goal, then how hard is a 30-yard field goal for him, right? Probably pretty easy. So if he can kick a 70-yard field goal, right, then how hard is a 35 or 40-yard field goal? Like that becomes easier. So it's the same thing. You can compare it to if you're a lifter, right? If you can squat 315, how many times can you squat 225, right? And now picture if you can squat 405 for a single, how many times can you squat 225 now? It's gonna be more, right? So if you push the top end strength up, then your practice, which is basically an extension of that physical activity, right? Because like if you're kicking, that's reps, that's physical activity. If you can squat 500 pounds, right? And you could only squat 225 before, then you can kick a lot more reps. And then on top of that, you're gonna recover better from practice. Because let's say that when you were squatting 225, you could only kick the ball 50 times, you 50 practice field goals, then you had to go rest and you're tired. But now you have 500-pound squats, you can kick the ball 100 times, so you can get twice as much practice, right? So yeah, that's basically it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next video. All right, goodbye.